Star Wars 7x7, episode 2291. The Great Disaster is the big event that starts off the High Republic, and through the reveals that have happened over the past few months, we can actually piece together more about this event, which we are going to do on today's episode. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So, let's start off with what we get from the publisher's summary for Light of the Jedi, which is the first novel, the adult novel from Del Rey that kicks off the High Republic Enterprise by Charles Soule. Part of that publisher's summary says, when a shocking catastrophe in hyperspace tears a ship to pieces, the flurry of shrapnel emerging from the disaster threatens an entire system. No sooner does the call for help go out than the Jedi race to the scene. The scope of the emergence, however, is enough to push even Jedi to their limit. As the sky breaks open and destruction rains down upon the peaceful alliance they helped to build, the Jedi must trust in the Force to see them through a day in which a single mistake could cost billions of lives. Now, they've also released an excerpt from the beginning of Light of the Jedi, which involves a ship called the Legacy Run. And the Legacy Run is the ship that is affected by the catastrophe in hyperspace that we're talking about here, that tears the ship to pieces. Here's the next piece of the puzzle. Back when Lucasfilm announced that the High Republic books were going to be delayed, it came with a letter from Michael Siglane at Lucasfilm, and among other things, he also mentioned a couple of little tidbits here and there, including someone who is the hero of Hetzal. And we didn't know who that was, but later on it was revealed in another story on StarWars.com that the hero of Hetzal is in fact Avar Kriss. Avar Kriss is the female Jedi who is depicted front and center on the cover of Light of the Jedi. Now, we've talked about the fact that there are so far 5 announced titles in this initiative, right? Light of the Jedi, the adult novel, Into the Dark, which is the young adult novel by Claudia Gray, A Test of Courage, which is the middle grade novel by Justina Ireland, and then the Marvel Comics series, which is primarily done by Cavan Scott, and the IDW High Republic Adventures, which is done by Daniel Jose Older. There is actually a 6th book. It is a young reader's book. It is coming from Disney Lucasfilm Press. It's called The High Republic, The Great Jedi Rescue. And in the description, it talks about a hyperspace event that threatens the people of Hetzal Prime, and only the Jedi can save the day. Now, here are 2 other pieces of information we have that are relevant to this. First of all, the Starlight Beacon Space Station has been recently launched, and so is out in the Outer Rim territories, and Avar Kriss, that Jedi featured front and center on the cover of Light of the Jedi, she is stationed on the Starlight Beacon. We know that from character biographies that were shared on StarWars.com. So, putting it all together, the Legacy Run is in hyperspace when this hyperspace catastrophe happens. It is torn to pieces. It emerges out of hyperspace near Hetzal Prime, and when the call goes out for assistance, Jedi from the Starlight Beacon, including Avar Kriss, head to Hetzal Prime and have to do what they can to save the people of Hetzal Prime from this catastrophe, from the remnants of the Legacy Run raining down on their planet. But there are still, of course, a couple of things that have yet to be explained, and I'll cover that in just a second. Before I do, though, I do just want to say thank you so much to everybody who has added ratings and reviews for the show on iTunes. I really appreciate it. Some of the new ones include reviews from Shane Luke 29 and Brown Vez and Jedi 092270. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I really appreciate it. If you have not yet rated or reviewed the show on iTunes and that's where you're listening to it, I hope you will take a moment today to do just that. It helps more people find Star Wars 7x7 when they are looking for Star Wars podcasts to check out. So thank you again very much. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the support. All right, so the couple of things we don't know. First of all, we don't know what causes this hyperspace catastrophe. Like, what exactly is this event? And there's something that's sort of shared about that, but it's not really very revealing, and why would it be at this point, right? But the remaining part of the publisher's summary for Light of the Jedi says, even as the Jedi battle valiantly against calamity, something truly deadly grows beyond the boundary of the Republic. The hyperspace disaster is far more sinister than the Jedi could ever suspect. A threat hides in the darkness, far from the light of the age, and harbors a secret that could strike fear into even a Jedi's heart. And presumably this has something to do with the threat to the Force itself, but again, yeah, we don't know that particular element of it. However, we have seemingly pieced together the major part of what happens at the opening of The Light of the Jedi based on all of these other reveals, and that is where we're going to leave things with this episode of the show. Thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2020 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.